Hello and welcome back to this Wednesday morning video on the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a wee profile of Marco Tilio, the Celtic player who's been off on loan again with Melbourne City in Australia, this time for the whole of their 24-25 season. And according to lots and lots of reports, in the second half of the season, he's been playing very, very well and is due back at Celtic at the start of June, and then hopefully should have a full pre-season training spell, which of course he didn't have the first time around at Celtic. And there are some saying that Marco Tilio could be a replacement for Jota, whilst Jota is out for the first half of the 25-26 season. Thought that Jota won't be back from his knee injury until December 2025 or January or later 2026. So in the video, we're going to have a wee look at his stats, particularly his stats from this season in Melbourne City on loan. And we've also got a wee highlights reel of some goals, assists, shots and passes, etc. from his loan spell at Melbourne City, particularly the games in 2025, as due to yet another injury for Tilio, he played a couple of games at the start of the Australian season, then missed quite a number of months yet again, but has been playing for now almost 4 months without injury for Melbourne City. So, just a wee recap of Marco Tilio. He is a 23-year-old Australian, will be 24 in August of this year. He is 5'7", has 9 Australian full international caps, was also part of their Olympic squad, and when fit has been a regular member of the Australian squad and was with their squad at the last World Cup. He joined Celtic a couple of years ago for an Australian record £1.5 million. Unfortunately, almost as soon as he signed for Celtic at the end of June 2023, he then got himself injured on Australian international duty and missed 5 months of play, in essence out for about 3.5, 4 months, and then had 4 to 6 weeks or so training with Celtic. He did play a couple of games for Celtic at the end of 2023, but then got injured, went off to Melbourne, got injured again, came back to Celtic, and then he's been on loan with them since summer of 2024 through to coming back to Celtic probably at the start of June 2025. Tilio plays right wing, left wing, and can play as a second striker, and he has been playing a mixture of right wing and left wing for Melbourne City in this loan spell, and his great form in 2025 since he came back from injury has helped Melbourne City to the verge of the A-League final. And a massive factor, apparently, in Melbourne's good form in the second half of their season has been Marco Tilio's return. So during this spell with Melbourne City, played 17 games with 5 goals and 5 assists, and has played 1,250 minutes, and has been playing since he returned from injury on the 25th of January, and has managed to keep injury-free. His Celtic career is just 2 substitute appearances and 28 minutes in total, and over his whole career, 113 games, 27 goals, 25 assists, which is pretty good for a wide player, and is on a par with many of Celtic's players who play those positions. He is actually under contract with Celtic until the 31st of May 2028, and so does actually have 3 years left on his Celtic contract. And so if he can fit in with Celtic, get into Brendan Rodgers' good books, and show the kind of form that he showed that got him on Ange Postecoglou's radar in 2023, then maybe he could be a replacement for Jota in the short term and a replacement for Maeda, Kuhn, Forrest, etc. in the longer term. As at 23 and under the coaching of Brendan Rodgers, he has the potential to get better and better and better and improve the areas of his game that he still needs to improve. So we'll just pop in those highlights from second half of the season at Melbourne. And they generally play in a sky blue top with white shorts, and he wears number 23 on his back. There are a couple of games also in this video highlights package where he's wearing a different strip, but again still wearing the number 23, just so you can watch out for him. After the highlights clips, we'll have a wee chat regarding where I think he'll fit in with Celtic. From those video clips, you'll see that Marco Tilio is a player with a lot of pace. I think he probably, once he's fit, would be the fastest player Celtic have on their books. As fast or even faster than Dyson Maida, which of course is saying something. He tends to have very good ball skills, control, dribbling, etc. And also has improved quite considerably his crossing, particularly from dead ball situations. And he is also a very handy finisher. When he joined Celtic, was very much a left-footed player, but he has improved his right-footed skills as well, and has also improved his aerial ability over the spell at Melbourne City. So, not saying that he is as good as Jota, as good as Maida, as good as Kuhn, but I think he certainly is right up there with Yang, and could well fit in to that slot, with Celtic generally playing 4 wide players in their matchday squad. I think he certainly could fit in beside Forrest or Yang on the substitutes bench up until Christmas, when Jota should be back from injury. So, will be interesting to see how Marco Tilio does at Celtic. It does certainly appear that Celtic have remained closely in contact with Tilio during his spell in Australia. He's been talking to the Australian press about how he wants to come back to Celtic and prove himself and prove that he is as good as he was a couple of years ago when he left Australian football initially. And he's saying all the right things about how brilliant a club Celtic is and how much he wants to impress Rodgers, the coaching staff, his teammates, and most importantly, the fans. And personally, I think he is a player who could, if he's at the form he used to show prior to his prolonged injury spell, I think he could be a brilliant player for Celtic. Tons of pace, has improved considerably his ability to use his right foot, much improved with crossing, particularly dead balls from corners, etc. Was always a good finisher, was always a good at bursts of pace into the box. And I think he has improved over this season in Australia and could be back at Celtic with a good pre-season, challenging for being one of Celtic's 4 wide players, and covering for Jota until Jota's back from injury. Over the course of the summer, there is probably going to be a lot of speculation regarding whether Dyson Maida stays or goes, whether Nicholas Kuhn stays or goes, and Rodgers is said also to be in the market for a new wide player. But I think certainly Marco Tilio would be a good player to have coming off the bench, especially with his great pace and energy and finishing and creative ability. Do feel free to pop your own thoughts regarding Marco Tilio. I don't think we saw Marco Tilio at his best in his wee spell with us in the second half of 2023, during which he spent 5 months out injured, with a couple of wee brief substitute appearances. So do pop your own comments, your own thoughts regarding Marco Tilio, what you think from having looked at his highlight reels on this video. And there are other clips of him in this season with Melbourne available via YouTube and the A-League archives. We'll be doing a wee preview of the Aberdeen Celtic Scottish Cup semi-final, probably on Friday afternoon, and any other videos in between as they crop up, depending on Celtic news. And so until the next video, goodbye and hail, hail.